지난주에 두 종류의 모임이 로마와 뉴내시빌에서 있었습니다. One was the extraordinary synod of bishops in Rome, bringing together 250 Catholic leaders to discuss marriage and family. And the other was Ethics and Religious Liberty Commission of the Southern Baptist Convention, a 3-day conference in Nashville. In Rome, Pope Francis opened the synod on the family by asking the church leaders to speak freely and saying his goal was to listen. A general condition is this. He told them on day one, speak clearly, let no one say, this cannot be said. At the same time, you should listen with humility and accept with an open heart what your brothers say. In Nashville, R. Moeller, president of Southern Baptist Theological Seminary, opened the gathering on Monday in a defensive posture, saying that Western society is experiencing a moral revolution happening at warp speed, one that now celebrates things that were previously condemned. We are accustomed to speaking from a position of strength, Moeller said, explaining how traditional evangelical opposition to homosexuality is no longer mainstream. Eric Stanley, a lawyer with the Alliance Defending Freedom, compared the show Modern Family to a gateway drug for accepting gays. Baron Suitman, a Washington state florist who declined to make a wedding flower arrangement for a gay couple, said, they can destroy me, but they cannot destroy God and His Word. The crowd gave her a standing ovation. Some speakers have hinted at more welcoming tone. Rosaria Champagne Butterfield, a former Wesleyan women's study professor who converted to evangelicalism, stopped living as a lesbian and married a male pastor, explained that she learned the hospitality gifts she uses as a pastor's wife from her years in the lesbian community. Suffering from AIDS in the 1990s, she shared how she converted because a pastor was her friend who did not invite her to church but made her feel safe by turning off his air conditioning and offering her vegan food to accommodate her then progressive lifestyle choices. I never felt like a project, she said. Russell Moore, president of the ERLC, offered a nuanced approach to the practical challenges of changing sexual ethics. Moore said he would not attend a gay friend's wedding ceremony because they would involve participating in their marriage vows, but he would attend their wedding reception. He also would not cut himself off from relatives who are lost or in situations you disagree with. Jesus never did that. Churches should care more about issues like gay and lesbian homelessness, he said, and young couples should be thinking about the long-term commitments of their wedding vows and what they mean if one partner gets Alzheimer's disease or has an affair. Christians should not marginalize gays over other sinners. If there is some particular sin that has to be whispered in our congregation, then we are not true Christian, he explained. We are sure that Jesus was willing to be involved in the marginal people without losing the sight of his salvation. He had been there in those men and women's booths. Have you been there? Where? I'm talking about someone else's booths. Or you can call it our hospitality to welcome someone or reject them. We can be more welcoming hosts as much as we are becoming more marginal or liminal people who are at the lower end of the social order. If we are reaching the point, you are truly the welcoming host. Psalm 34:18 witnessed, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. And also in New Testament, Mark 6:34, when Jesus landed and saw a large crowd, he had compassion on them because they were like sheep without a shepherd. So he began teaching them many things. Paul also witnessed about Holy Spirit in Rome 8:26. In the same way, the Spirit helps us in our weakness. We do not know what we ought to pray for, but the Spirit himself intercedes for us through wordless groans. God the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit has been there and is here in us who are crushed in pain, like sheep without a shepherd, and weak in a way for others. Maybe this story really happened in Jerusalem, not just a parable. And Jesus started the story in Luke chapter 18, verse 9 to 14. To some who were confident of their own righteousness and looked down on everyone else, Jesus told this parable. Two men went up to the temple to pray, one a Pharisee and the other a tax collector. The Pharisee stood by himself and prayed, God, I thank you that I am not like other people, robbers, evildoers, adulterers, or even like this tax collector. I fast twice a week and give a tenth of all I got. But the tax collector stood at a distance. He would not even look up to heaven, but beat his breast and said, God, have mercy on me, a sinner. I tell you that this man, rather than the other, went home justified before God. For all those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. The Pharisee in this story kept his integrity throughout the whole worship service. He was, is, and will be the same man. On the opposite corner, the poor fellow lost his identity. He was a breast-beating sinner when he came to the temple place. He was crushed under the heavy burden of his sins. What kind of sins he was suffering, we don't know yet. But we know that he is changed now. he becomes righteous. His identity is changed from a sinner to the justified, the righteous. Both men were there in the same place, but only one man found the truth. The God who sympathizes the crushed is here. Actually, God was there with a poor, crushed soul with the same breast beating sorrow. Do you see that? Our salvation is not necessarily a new job, a new car, or even a new strength. It is a changed person, a new person. And the starting point is this: God became the crushed himself like us. What is our faith in him? He has been there when we are crushed and marginalized, as we find helpless to deal with the gay marriage and other sinners issues. The triune God has been there and is here in us who are crushed and helpless. Their sympathy mysteriously makes us a new person with self-confidence and strength. So we turn to Isaiah chapter 40, verse 27 to 31. Why do you complain, Jacob? Why do you say, Israel, my way is hidden from the Lord, my cause is disregarded by my God? Do you not know? Have you not heard? The Lord is the everlasting God, the creator of the ends of the earth. He will not grow tired or weary, and his understanding no one can fathom. He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Even youths grow tired and weary, and young men stumble and fall. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. Who is the new person here? They are those who hope in the Lord. Previously, they were so crushed and helpless that they were complaining. But they have realized God is here who has become crushed like themselves, and suddenly they are changed and turned into a new person. No more despair and sorrow and complaint. So, where are you now? Wherever you might be, get this. He has been there. His sympathy is here. Feel the sympathy in silence and gratitude for a while. I recommend. Shall we?